Okay, so where we left off, we kind of added in a new section here with this button, and we set a min height to this section here under layout in the Elementor left side menu. We made the minimum height of this section that we added 500, and we changed this to min height here. So if we go into the style section, this is where we can change the background. So if we just go to classic here, background type classic, you can also do gradients or videos, slideshows, but we're going to do classic, which is actually an image. And we can actually choose an image here. If I have something in my media library I want to use, I can do that. I did bring in this image earlier, so I'll choose this. I already have alt text in here. The title is kind of long, but that doesn't matter. That's actually just the title of probably the JPEG that I brought in. I pulled that from a website or maybe Facebook. So it has a really messy name, but if we insert media, that will add that to our website. We can do no repeat, and that will make it not repeat itself. And we can make it cover. And so if we make it cover, it'll cover that whole section that we created, which might be the way to go. If you don't have it on cover, then it will look like this. This is actually kind of a low res image, so I can always just choose image again, upload files, select files, and then go into documents and just try to find an image that's a little bit nicer. Let's see what I have in here. Not much. Probably some stuff in here I could use. I tried bringing this in before. Oops. These are PSD files. We don't want to use those, but I can use the JPEG if it's not too big. It's a fairly large size, 3000 by 3200 by 1800, but we'll see if WordPress can handle it. Sometimes you just have to try things a couple times. It's kind of looking like it's maybe not going to upload, but I'll give it some time. I'm going to pause the video. So this is not wanting to work, probably because it's too big of an image. So if we go into Photoshop, we can actually fix this. So we'll do File, Open. And actually, we don't really want to bring in something that big to our website anyway, because it'll really slow down the load time of that page on our website that we use that image on. So I can actually navigate back to that image that I like, which is a Mount Otis landscape. It's a JPEG. Open that up in Photoshop, and then we can actually see how big it is. So image size. If I check this resample box to make sure everything is totally linked, we can put this at 300, and it's 6 by 10 at 300, which is a pretty big size actually. Technically we want this to be 72 dpi. Let's uncheck resample, and let's just make this, instead of 45 inches wide, let's make this like, instead of 3000 pixels, you know, it tells you the pixel dimension up here as well. Let's just bring this down to like 25. So it's 25 by 14 at 72 dpi. These two things are linked. So if whatever number I change this to, this will automatically proportionately size this down. So push OK. And then I'll just do a file save as, and I'm going to save it out separately from the original because I do want a high-res Mount Otis landscape in that folder for my brochure. But I'm just going to put this one, I'll just label it. Actually, maybe I'll just say Mount Otis landscape, Otis landscape smaller. So I actually kind of accidentally cut that off, but I did save it as Otis landscape smaller on my desktop. So I have a smaller image file on my desktop right now. So if I go into Chrome, oh, it actually brought in the huge file. I don't think we want to use it because it's going to be too big. I think it actually was sized down. But anyway, I'll just show you how to upload this. So we'll go to the desktop. I have it on column view. I'll put it on list, and that'll make my most recent thing that I saved out, Mount Otis landscape, smaller on my desktop. show up. Push open. And since this one is a little bit smaller, hopefully it'll upload faster. And the fact that it is smaller will help our website load time, which is also beneficial for our website. My internet is so slow that maybe I might have to actually give this a pause while it's uploading. So here it is. We got that put in here. I'm going to put in Mount Otis landscape in the alt text. I suggest you put in alt texts for screen readers. So we'll insert media, and that will bring it in to our website, into our little area that we made earlier. We have it on no repeat. We can put it on cover. That can change it as well. Cover might be a good way to do it. So if we scroll, it scrolls with the content, which is great. We might just leave it on the default position for now. So if you experiment with this position a little bit, we can actually do center, and that will center it within your image. And that might be a good thing to do for you. You can also do like a bottom center, and it'll go a little further down in your image. So you can kind of sort of crop things in this way. I think mine looks better with center. I also want to show you something else. So if we choose image, say I want to actually, instead of choosing, uploading files or choosing from my media library, maybe I might want a free image from Pixabay. So you can actually search here, nature, and find an image in here as well, which is, they are all royalty free, so feel free to use these on your site if you want. And you can easily search, you can change the orientation here, that kind of thing. But obviously I think I'm just going to stick with my Otis landscape. And just wanted to show you though that there is a kind of built-in free stock image section. Okay, so our website is kind of coming along. We added in, some text up here, which were headings. We added in this full-sized image. Maybe I want to add in some paragraph, a paragraph box here. So I'll just push up that little plus icon, choose how wide I want it to be, which I think I want to add in a section that's full width. Make sure that we have this area highlighted. Go here to our little grid icon that has every one of the elements that we can bring in. Some are under Pro, so we're not going to be able to use those without paying. But there's quite a few areas here we can use. So let's bring over this text box. Command Z that. I want to bring over a text editor box, which is actually technically paragraph. So I kind of want a little bit more text to work with, so I'm just going to do Command C, put a little space in there, and Command V. So I have a little bit more paragraph text to work with. So I can actually change, some of the alignment stuff here. Maybe I want it to be centered. I can obviously change the text color and typography. I can go into advanced and I can add margins to my text. I'm going to unlink that, maybe just have, maybe 50 pixels of margin on top and maybe 50 on bottom, just to add a little bit of space because I like white space. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. We can also click back on the section and we can create a height to this potentially if we wanted to. We can change the content width. So maybe I want this to be, I don't know, 700-ish pixels wide, something like that. Just so I can have some space here for more white space, just makes it look a little bit cleaner. So that's kind of how we could add in some space with a paragraph. You might have to go into this area to get more options. And then if you want to really get down to the paragraph level, you can click on this. You can also toggle this open. There's more options here. So if you need like quotes or text color, just different text alignments, indents, things like that, you can do it that way as well. And you can even add media inside of this little area here. So let's say I'm wanting another full-size image like this one underneath this paragraph text that we just put in. Instead of having to go in here and create a new column and inserting an image and all that, there's actually a faster way of doing that. You can actually duplicate things fairly easily within this editor. So if I click on this, the section that I want to copy, I can actually do a control click and a duplicate, or right click on a PC, which just kind of depends on what you have there. And it'll actually create this section for us. It'll duplicate it. It's a little bit weird, but and then it will kind of give you a little hover thing that you can do, and you can actually click it in where you want it. So I actually clicked it in underneath. But if it doesn't do that for you, you can simply grab things and by these 6 dots, and until you get a little bit of a blue hover, you'll hover over and you'll get this blue line, and that'll tell you where it's going to go. And then you can quickly duplicate this, and then I can actually make sure I have it selected, and I can actually change this image. Maybe I want something from Pixabay, nature, maybe something like this. Insert media. Did that work? Maybe do a save and insert. And that'll work better if you do a save and insert. So I have it on center right now, but maybe I want it on bottom center. Maybe I want it on not top center. I guess center is pretty much the best. I think we could even do a custom, which you can adjust these to, change it. But I think I'll just go with center because that actually looked pretty good. So that's kind of a quick way of creating an image, or just copying a section on your site and changing it quickly. So now would be a good time to update so that we save our changes that we made. And if I go to view our website, it'll take us into this section here that has this, toolbar up here. But we can scroll down and see the areas that we created from scratch here at the bottom of our homepage. So one thing we could do is we could add more to this. So if I go edit with Elementor, let that load. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Okay, we're on this web page. Let's scroll down to this image here. Let's add in a heading by clicking and dragging it in on top. I can center it. I can change the style of it, maybe change the text color to maybe white. Oops, sorry. And maybe one thing we could do is change the size. I could make it a little bit bigger maybe. And maybe make the weight a little bit more heavy, depending on how heavy your font will actually go. 600 seems to be about where I can go with that. And then if we go to this section and click on it, we can go to style, and we can go to background overlay here, and we can actually do a color here. So I can actually put a color over the top of this really easily. And yeah, that looks pretty good. So it helps the text pop out.